What's up, guys? Matocaster here, back in CMS 18. I figured today we go back to the junkyard and see what we can find in the junkyard. I love doing these junkyard hunts. They are really a lot of fun. I like to do the builds. The auction cars are cool and all, but they're a lot more complete. I like totally resurrecting these cars from the junkyard. Guys, I hope you're doing well. I certainly do, and I'm excited to see what we may find today in the junkyard. All right, guys, this one's a little tricky. Right here, we've got an M5. Right here, we've got a first-gen Bronco. And right here, we have a Ferrari Dino. But then over here, we've got Cleetus McFarland's neighbor. And look at what has in it. V8, dual overhead cam, supercharged, 952 horsepower. Factory. You got a lot of swap options. And look, the engine is mostly complete. Supercharger's still there. That is very tempting. That is very, very tempting. Just because it is what it is, and I haven't really... but the Dino. Man, I love Dinos. A lot of swap options on this. An insane amount of swap options. It's in pretty rough condition, everything except for the interior. I do love Ferrari Dino. This one's tricky. We have done a first gen Bronco and an M5. I like the Dino better, but I also like the Crown Victoria neighbor. Dino, I'm coming back for you another day. I know. Passing on a Ferrari Dino for a Crown Victoria, but come on now. This is a special Crown Victoria, and we are putting it in our garage. See you guys back at the garage. And here it is in the garage, and it looks like it's got the 2020 livery on it. It's kind of hard to tell underneath all that rust, but it's definitely got, the Cleetus gauge, the digital gauges that he's got in there, and then of course the several racing seats, 4 racing seats, and what really matters is big old engine in it. They even modeled in the ECU and everything up here. This is well done. Not bad at all. Not a whole lot left. Of course, we're not going to need a hood, but we're going to need pretty much everything else. So I can tell that the heads are already missing. We're not going to get anything out of this engine, I don't believe, but we might as well run a few little diagnostics and see what we can figure out about our engine here. OBD scanner. Don't know if it's really going to tell us a whole lot. I know we're pretty much just going to need everything, but might as well do it. See what we get. Anything worth saving. Yeah, we got nothing there. We can do a compression test, but I don't know what good it's going to do because we're just going to go ahead and... the engine's not complete. We're just going to go ahead and rebuild this engine anyway. So let's take the car, move it over to the lifter A, and get going on Cleetus McFarland's neighbor for Ed. Ed the neighbor, doing it for Ed. All right. Get it up there, and then we're going to go underneath and undo all the driveline stuff. Be able to get that out. Make sure. Let's see. It doesn't even have an oil pan, so I don't have to worry about anything to do with the oil, draining any oil or anything like that. So we're going to remove our drive shaft, spin around, grab these other 4. There we go. Got that. Now see if we can reach up here. There it goes. It works. Okay. Get our drive shaft out of there. And then we can go to the gearbox. We're definitely going to need to get the upgraded gearbox. With this much power, I think it's definitely going to have to happen. And then get our clutch release bearing. Pressure plate out of here. This poor neglected engine drive line here. Get the flywheel out, and we're good. I think, actually, let's pull off the exhaust here. Get that one removed. I don't even think they were connected. Don't even got to worry about it. Bring it back down, and then we'll go grab the engine hoist. There you are. Move you over to lifter A. Then we should just be able to rip it right out. And indeed we did. Take it over to the engine stand. And yeah, it's rough. But we still got our supercharger. And that's good. Hopefully we can repair it. That would be ideal. So, let's start pulling this thing apart and see what we get ourselves into. Idler roller A. Got idler roller B here. Obviously our big rusty harmonic balancer. Idler. Bunch of idler pulleys, things like that. We're even going to take this up a notch and add some more performance parts to it. See if we can get over 1,000 horsepower. I don't see why that would be out of the realm of possibilities, especially if we go at it as hard as we can with as much performance parts as we can, just to see how much power we can get out of neighbor, the Crown Victoria. Get these cam gears off of here. But yeah, I'm pretty sure that's the 2020 livery. I'm excited to get that cleaned up and see what the car looks like once it's all cleaned up and looks decent. What do we... Oh, we got to get this... There we go. That out of there. And then we can pull this head off. And look at all the oxidation and whatnot in there. Pull this head off as well. Try to get everything as cleaned up as we can. Carbon buildup. That's what I was trying to think of. We need to flip it over. Get these pistons out of here. See what's left of... Yeah, there's hardly any really retained in here with any rod caps or anything like that. Get them out. Yeah, not a single one. They were just sitting in here. Then we can pull out the crankshaft and pull off the engine block and see what we can repair. A lot of it's pretty far gone, but we're able to repair a decent amount of stuff here. Then obviously I will go into my inventory here, and what we did repair we'll use, and what we didn't or unable to repair we will replace. Time to do some shopping. And here we are with our fresh block ready to get built out. Let's start. Let's get that crankshaft in there. And I was able to find a bunch, and I mean a bunch of performance parts for this engine. So we're going to be making a lot of horsepower. I mean, if the thing was already making 900 and something, we're going to be way higher than that. We got our performance pistons here. And I won't make you sit through every one of them, just do a few. And then also do crankshaft bearing cap, and then I'll speed it up for you. Alrighty, now we get our oil pan on. And then we will be able to put on our oil filter, and we should be able to flip this thing over. There we go. Then I'll go ahead and rotate and rotate. There we go. And I threw our little oil filter or fuel filter on there. Okay, what next? Let's go with kind of maybe start at the bottom and work our way up. We got a performance power steering pump right there, and a performance alternator over here. Then I was able to find performance engine heads. Build up this side here. There's that glare on these shiny, beautiful new parts. And performance camshafts. Like I said, a lot of performance for this engine, which is going to be fantastic. As well as performance headers. And they look so beautiful. We'll do our cam. Come on now. Cam gear. There we go. And our other. We should be able to, to throw on our timing belt now. And I'll go ahead and throw in our performance spark plugs. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then we can't do a whole lot until we get the supercharger base. So I'll go ahead and build out this side. And there we go. So now we can put our supercharger intake manifold on, as well as the timing cover. Get this all bolted down. This is a big engine, guys. This is a very big engine. We'll do the engine head on this side, or the head cover, I should say. Then they'll want our coils right here, which I got performance coils. Again, I bet if it came in performance for this engine, I bought it performance. Then we can do our fuel. Nope, not yet. We got to do our coils cover. There we go. Then we can do our supercharger. And then we can do our fuel rail, direct injection right there. Performance, obviously, and performance throttle body here. Now we can build out this side. Put the head on. Weird glare on this side, especially with shiny new parts. Oh, always gotta get that little guy. Install our coils. Man, I'm excited to see what kind of horsepower this engine is going to put out. It's going to be ridiculous. And we're going to just use some street tires at first because, you know, come on, neighbor. But then we'll put some slicks on it and see what it can do. Clutch plate, performance. There we go. Pressure plate. That all tightened down. And then our throwout bearing, which I know a little inaccurate to put it in here on the stand, but might as well get it out of the way. Get onto the crankshaft pulley. Then all sorts of rollers. Roller there, a roller there, a roller there, and even more to come. And there. Let's do our water pump while we're here. Gonna need that. Might as well throw the pulley on for that. And then we can do another roller. And another one. Then we can put on our supercharger serpentine belt. Right there. Now, our other regular serpentine belt. Another roller. How about that? And a belt tensioner. Let's see. I think she is complete and glorious. Look at how beautiful that engine is. Absolutely gorgeous. And I know it's not totally accurate to Cleetus's with the red heads and everything, but hey, this is what the game gives us. That's what we're going to do. So we'll take the engine from the stand, put it, install it into neighbor, and then send that off. We're done with you. Look at that. Absolutely gorgeous. Next thing's next. We get the welder over here. Because this thing is in big need of some frame repair. Let me double check, see what we're looking at. Yeah, it's not good. Frame condition 26%. So we're gonna go ahead and take care of that now. And look at that already. Yep, that's the 2020 livery. Move that back. That's awesome. That's looking good already. Let's go ahead and take care of any of the under the hood stuff. I'm gonna tell we're gonna need some clips there. Get that air filter and air filter base out of there. Pull off our brake servo. Then we need to take that ABS pump out. We can go ahead and pull the battery. Obviously going to need a radiator, it looks like. Yeah, so let's see what we can repair, and what we can't repair, we will replace. Throw in our brake servo, ABS pump, ABS module, little fasteners for that. There we go. Performance air filter and the cover, and of course the wonderful little clips. All right, our radiator, the radiator fan housing with the fan. And that should do it. The battery's still charging. So all our under hood stuff looks good. It's looking really good. I almost like the red heads better. I think it's pretty cool. Oh, and it cleaned up all the race seats and everything. Very nice. So let's move on to some of the body stuff. Well, we'll take that off for now and see if we can repair it. Yeah, we were only able to repair that one door. So we'll go ahead and put that back on. Yeah, the trunk is going to need to be replaced and everything, so quite a bit of stuff. Okay, so with that being said, let's move on to suspension, shall we? Remove these beautiful stock Crown Vic Steelies to reveal some pretty rough stuff down under here. It's in bad shape. Pull the wheel hub cap off, get that bearing out of there, get our wheel hub out. I can't wait to rip on this thing. It's gonna be awesome. Get our, oh, way too close. Our front end link out of here. So that way we can pull our shock absorber. Come on now. There we go. Back down to the knuckle. Get our lower suspension arm out of here. Outer tie rod. Inner tie rod. That'll take care of most of all that. We'll go ahead and pull these bushings now. Make it easier for when we pull the cross member on the other side. Speaking of, onto the other side. Sped up for you guys. Just pulling these shock assembly, spring assembly, shock absorber, pulling it apart, and then we will get to our cross member to drop that out of the way. Then we can remove our sway bar and our steering rack, and that is the whole front tore out of Neighbor. All right, time to start putting things back together. We got our cross member. Install that. Might as well put in our rubber bushings before we forget, because it's been known to happen. Throw that in. Then we can put on our steering rack. Might as well take care of that now, as well as our sway bar. We can do our inner tie rod. We got to do our front steering knuckle before we can do our outer tie rod. There it goes. On in. We can do our shock absorber. Why not? Take care of that now. So that way we can run our front end link. There. From there, we can run our lower suspension with our rubber bushings. Look at all this nice, shiny newness here. We got our knuckle cover. Then we can do our hub. Tighten that down onto the bearing now. And then our cap for the bearing. Keep that bearing clean. Do our brake disc, brake pad, caliper. Then we should be good to go on that side. Yeah, that looks good. We'll take care of the wheels and tires when we get there. But for now, on to the other side. Okay, that is the front end taken care of and done. On to the rear. See what kind of rear end setup we're working with here. Now in reality, these cars don't have leaf springs. They have a Watts link system with 4-link. But I guess, you know, they could only do so much with the mod. I understand. That's fine. Not a big deal. Okay, pull out this axle here. And we'll get this wheel hub off of here. Yeah, it's pretty amazing the trick setup that the Crown Vics have for the rear end and rear suspension. It's really impressive. It's kind of, you know, it's a cool setup. It's a hot rod setup because you can buy Crown Vics cheap. Well, you used to could. Now a lot of people are kind of hip to it, and a lot of the frame swap people are buying them up too. And so they're getting a little. I mean, they made so many of them. You know, you're still gonna find quite a bit of them out there, but yep, hot rod stuff for pretty cheap. You can find one on the cheap. All right, on to the other side. Time to put it all back together. I'm going to go ahead and throw the fuel tank in now, and then that way we can toss in our performance fuel pump right there. Now we can throw in our axle. Get this axle knuckle housing. Go ahead and do our shock absorbers. Do work from the inside out, I suppose. Do our leaf spring with our small rubber bushings. One on that end, one on the other. Then we can do our spring plate, our U-bolts. One and there we go. Two. Do our wheel hub, solid rear drive axle. Drum wheel cylinder. Brake shoes. I can also vouch for the fact that these do have disc brakes in the back. And that should, yeah, that'll do it for that side. On to the other side. And there it is. Rear end is all up to snuff. Beautiful. Let's go ahead and take care of the wheel and tire situation. To start off with, we're just getting some regular standard tires. We are gonna destroy them. Well, I wish they would destroy in the game, but they don't. But yeah, we're just gonna do standard street tires. All nice, bright and shiny. How about that? Go ahead and take that and balance. Putting the last wheel and tire combo on. I like how the cap just pops in. Boop. Just like that. And put the oil in. Too bad as it doesn't have the little Ed thing in the emblem. Alright, so time to shop some body stuff. We need a steering wheel for sure. And we're getting close, guys, to seeing what this thing can do. Alright, let's get some of the stuff off of here that we don't need. Or that we can repair that might be... We don't even have a front windshield. Or do we have a rear? Nope, no rear window. And I think that's everything, looks like. Looks like it to me. Okay. Alright, time to start putting some parts on here. We've got kind of a smoked headlight that I thought looked cool. Then we got our front grille there, front bumper, front window, which with these are the lights that I found most represent and look like good old neighbor. Get our right window in there, right side mirror. This thing really has a lot of stuff missing on it, but that's okay. We'll get it back to its former glory. The trunk, even better, because now it's going to be making a lot more horsepower. And then the famous neighbor rear bumper. We do need taillights. I got a left taillight. Trunk light. Another trunk light there. There we go. We got that in. Onto this side. We got a door. Another door. Window. And then I did buy one with the spotlight. There we go. The window there. What are we missing? Anything? This hidden little, call it a front left fender and a front right fender. I see it now. Here we go. We're going to pick this up, plate for old Cleetus and for neighbor there. I think that'll work well. Let's see how it looks. And there you go. There you go. All right, I think we're ready to go ahead and take this thing and put it in the paint booth and restore the beautiful wrap, the 2020 wrap for neighbor. Let's head on in there. And see, maybe there's some other liveries, maybe the older livery and stuff, but I do really dig the new one. Let's check it out. Okay, so livery. We've got that. The good old, what was number 2? Oh, that one. Not sure what those are all about. The classic, the new, I guess I should say. We got NYPD, that's kind of cool. Taxi. Pennsylvania State. No, we got to go with old. That one right there. Paint the car. Okay, let's move it over to the lifter, get all the drivetrain hooked up, and we are going to run a dyno test to see what kind of insane numbers. Oh, this thing looks so good. It really does. See what kind of insane numbers we can make in this Crown Victoria. And here we are, front exhaust pipe, performance. I think that's going to be it. Yep. Straight pipes right out, just like that. And I did buy a tunable gearbox because we're definitely going to need it. Definitely going to need it. Now we just need our starter. Get you on there. And then our drive shaft. And we're about ready to lay down some pretty crazy numbers, I have a feeling. All I can say is these poor tires. I did buy, preemptively, I did buy slicks because I know we're going to need them. But for now, let's have some fun with the regular tires. But actually, for now, first, let's do our dyno check. We do still need our battery, don't we? Don't want to forget that. Take our battery, put it into place right there. There we go. I think we are ready for the dyno. And look at it in there. Just ready for this. I do love it without the hood. Okay, here we go. Stock or factory engine horsepower is 952 over 863. Let's see what we do here. I expected it to be louder than that. You definitely hear the supercharger. 1,693 horsepower. 1,527 foot-pound of torque. That is insanity. I think that's the biggest horsepower we've made here yet. There it is in all its glory. So I know I'm going to go ahead and preemptively tune this transmission, because I know it's going to be, we're going to need more than 5 gears. Okay, well first let's just go out to the, head out to the abandoned airport, because it's not going to go straight down a track. I guarantee you that much. Just see what it can do. I love it's got the hell yeah brother and the Cleetus. That's awesome. If you're looking there on the Holley EFI instruments there. Oh yes, this is her. Let's just give it gas. Ready? It just immediately bounces off the limiter. Yeah, there is no controlling this. I'm gonna try to just do a straight launch and see how long it goes in a straight line. Okay, I'll stop the car first. Here we go. Oh, well, no. Loses it. Completely loses it there. This seems about fitting, really. Look at old neighbor go. You can hear that supercharger just screaming along with the tires. Oh, I'm trying to get a drift out of it, but it's just so powerful, and these tires are just so terrible. Slight one there, slight one there. Yeah, it just wants to flip around no matter what. Even being a little finessed on the gas there. Do a far away view. So good. The interior's modeled very nicely too. Okay, enough of that. Let's put some slicks on it and head to the speed track and see what we can do. These ought to do it. Ought to help us put the power to the ground. There we go. See what that looks like. Oh yeah. And here we are. Those slicks look so good on there. They really do. Let's do a side view of the launch. Oh yeah. They could be pulling the front end up in real life. And here we go. We're almost to 150 up to... Oh, that's a big gear there. 200. Might have to shorten that one. Although it's getting up to 2... It's climbing fast. 232. Alright, I tuned it up a little bit. Tuned up the transmission, the gearing. Let's see what we can do. It does still somewhat wander on launch. There's 150. There's 200. And we're getting close. 254 miles per hour. That's quick for a Crown Victoria. Well, I know Crown Victorias can get up into the 200s easily, but I mean for that amount of time to get up to 250 that quickly. Guys, this is a cool car. This is a lot of fun. I really like this car. I can see what Cleetus loves so much about it. Just good old classic Crown Vic that has just been everything thrown at it. Absolutely fantastic. Nothing wrong with that. I love it. So the car value plus the restoration bonus means we could sell it now for $82,269, but that ain't what I'm doing. Guys, I'm hanging on to this one for a while. It's just too much fun. I know I did that the last time, but you know what? I've got a completely empty parking. My stage 2 parking is completely empty, so might as well hang on to a few that I like. Guys, this was a really fun one. I truly appreciate you watching, tuning in, subscribing, all that. All your support lately has been absolutely fantastic. I'm humbled by it every day, guys. Thank you so much. I truly appreciate it. Hell yeah, brother. And I'll see you in the next one.